Happy end of summer?
Yeah, yeah, I guess. I think now that I'm out of the
Whoa.
classroom, it's just like it's
Uh,
it's just you know,
Your life doesn't revolve around
it's
the academic
sad. You're
year,
right.
right?
It doesn't. It doesn't anymore. Um, it does not. But thank you all for joining us. We're gonna wait around 3:02. We have a pretty packed agenda today, which is good. A lot of new folks joining us. So for those who are new, we typically have between 35 to 40 folks per month on the call. This month, we really wanted to be intentional about saving some space for a program that I know has gotten a lot of community questions, which is the at-home at CMS program for the prospective Garinger High School Teacher Village. And we have Amanda Kahn from CMS, who is the program lead on that, who will be kicking us off. We'll get going in 2 more minutes, but I wanted to give just kind of an overview that we do every month for these meetings. So, Charlotte East is the community development org centered around the Eastland property. You're going to start seeing the Eastland verbiage and branding a lot more at the forefront of our work at the top of the year. But we work in the realms of community building, neighborhood organizing, economic development, and public education. So our basic geography is Independence, Eastway, the Plaza, and W.T. Harris that we consider to be really the core part of the greater Eastland footprint. But we serve and support anybody on the east side as requested, be that Plaza Midwood or folks that live closer to 45. For this meeting, is we do have a lot of new folks, which is super, super exciting. I think our distribution list is around 200 now. We The format of this is because it's always so packed, is that the Q&A, we don't do Q&A based off individual presenter, just because if there does seem to be that much interest around a specific topic, we will pull it out and do like a separate community engagement session related to that topic, which we might do with the teacher village conversation. But just to keep the flow of the conversation moving, we always ask our presenters to just keep their Q&As limited to the chat, and put their information in the chat so people can follow up offline. So with that said, here's our agenda. We are going to go ahead and get starting with 22 on the call. Amanda, I am going to stop sharing my screen and kick it over to you.
It looks like you've disabled attendee screen sharing.
Right now, you should be good.
Yes,
Okay.
perfect. And everyone can see and hear. Wonderful. Well, hi. Thank you so much to Charlotte East for having us. And I'm really excited to meet you all, be here. I am navigating a couple of screens right now and trying to make sure I can see you all and you can see the presentation. So if anything goes awry there, please let me know. But let me start by introducing myself. Amanda Kahn. I work in CMS. I am the Executive Director of Retention and Rewards. That means it is my job to think all day, every day about how do we retain our teachers and our staff more generally. I like to say that my job is to love on our teachers. And today I'm going to share a couple of things. I'm going to briefly introduce At Home in CMS, sort of give you an understanding of why a former English teacher who works for a school district is here to talk to you about housing, and tell you a little bit about our proposal and plans for our first educator community, and share some about the engagement efforts we've had to date and what we hope to do in the coming weeks and months. To state the obvious, housing has gotten incredibly expensive here in Charlotte. To live and to do so budgeting comfortably, someone would need to make nearly $80,000. And even the generous increase from our county last spring and from our state with the new state budget that was passed just last month. A first-year teacher in CMS makes $56,000. And a classroom teacher, if they stay doing what they love in the classroom, they would top out at just under $75,000. So we see that we're not able to get to that 80 that it takes to budget for housing comfortably. And I just want to confirm that my slides have been moving with me because I can't see that.
Yes, they say housing costs are rising.
Perfect. Okay, great. So I hate this cartoon, but I love to show it because I think it demonstrates what we're up against so well. Our teachers' crunch is not about them. It's not about poor budgeting. It's not for lack of trying. It's not for lack of responsibility. Essentially, our teachers show up to run a 5K. They get there and they learn it's actually a 10K. They get to the starting line and they hear it's a half marathon, and they get some miles in and they're told it's actually a marathon. And then it's an ultra marathon. And somewhere between that starting line and the 50 miles, that end goal, which keeps moving, it is a reasonable, logical conclusion to say, I just can't do this. I'm not going to be able to buy a home. I'm not going to be able to rent in this community. I'm going to have to look for a job elsewhere. We don't just know this anecdotally. We've now surveyed our teachers 3 years in a row, and 43% tell us that housing may be a barrier to staying employed in CMS. So when you think about your child's school, that means you walk down the hallway and 2 out of every 5 classrooms has a teacher who is wondering whether they can afford to stay teaching in CMS. That is just such a gut punch, and we're committed to doing something about it. When we ask them what their most important considerations are with respect to housing, you won't be surprised that it's cost. And a second reason is location. So all of that is the case for why we as a school district are working on housing for teachers. But it goes beyond that. It is for our broader community. We all know, I think, that teachers are the most critical school-based factor in a child's education. And strong schools make stronger and safer communities. And this is what's good for teachers, what's good for our school system is good for our broader community. It's good for all of us. And so it's not just for the community, but it's by the community. Our community who's involved in housing every which way has just wrapped its arms around us. And that's good because CMS does not want to be a lender. We don't want to be a realtor. We don't want to be a landlord. We do want to support our teachers, but we've been able to lean on our community partners to do it. We're up to 49 and growing. I'm going to run out of space on this slide. And I want to highlight in particular both the city and county who have been instrumental in our work and to the project that I'm going to talk about today. But in response to that need from our teachers and to the outpouring of support from our different partners, about 2.5 years ago, we created At Home in CMS, which is our housing initiative. We have 3 what we call verticals: our rental support, our financial literacy to help employees towards their goals, and home ownership support. And then undergirding all of this is CMS Host, which is our one-to-one concierge or navigation support, where teachers can call up and have someone help them navigate those 49 partners and all the different properties that those partners might manage or offer, because we all know that teachers have lots of leisure time on their hands. And so, in fact, this group can help them sort through that and find what they need quickly. But today, I want to focus on this longer term, larger scale solution around educator communities. The idea here is to create a dedicated rental community for CMS teachers and staff. So teachers would have first priority in. Based on the conversations and the data I've had so far, we think they will use it, all those spaces up, but we will also have space for other CMS staff as demand allows. So let me tell you a little bit about the first project that we're working on. It's the reason I'm here. Thank you to Charlotte East for having us, because the first one is planned to be next to Garinger High School, right off of Eastway Drive. I mentioned that we are not interested in being the landlord. We also don't want to be the developer. We don't want to be the builder. We don't want to be the manager, the lessor. So we conducted an RFI, and our strongest and winning application, especially in terms of experience here in Charlotte, was from Innovative Housing Solutions Foundation, IHSF. And they are partnering with Laurel Street. And I think this group in particular might know Laurel Street, that's building the Springhouse Square property that is sort of part of or kind of next to the Aldersgate community. I think that's a really good example of what you could expect in terms of how beautiful it looks and the quality of housing. And that quality is really important because what we are focused on is housing that our teachers deserve. So
Amanda, I'm sorry, really quickly, could you go back 2 slides and just kind of zoom in on the property parcel so people can understand? I don't know if you can.
I don't know if I can zoom.
Okay. It's okay. We'll send this as a follow-up too, but just so everybody gets their bearings, because I had to look at this like 20 times. It's Eastway, right? So it's the frontage of Garinger, like the whole wooded tree line right there by the softball field. So that is the parcel. It's not in the back. It's not at the urban farm. It's not by the football field. It is Eastway right there. Thank you, John. 7 acres right there on Eastway. Okay. Sorry, Amanda. I just want to make sure everybody was clear.
That's great. It gave me a minute to look a little bit at the stats here, and that is helpful. And I don't think anything that I need to answer right now, so I'm going to keep.
Oh, zoning. Sorry, zoning question. I break my own rules all the time because I'm the moderator. Zoning question. This doesn't have to go through a rezoning, correct?
Based on what we know so far, it does not.
Okay.
And I say that with that lack of 100% certainty because we are early in the process. So we, as you would expect, did our homework and have looked really carefully at what can be placed on the zoning here. And actually that parcel does have sort of different density allowances across that 7 acres, but we've designed our initial thinking to fit within the existing zoning laws.
Okay, so everything.
Thank you for that question.
Everything by right. Is anybody, last thing before I'm going to be quiet, is anyone else having issues with the screen visibility?
Ooh,
okay, we're good. I think it was just one person. I'm gonna work with them. Go ahead, Amanda.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, great. So I think I mentioned that we are partnering with IHSF, which is a nonprofit, and they have brought in Laurel Street as their developer partner. And I mentioned the property in Aldersgate that Laurel Street is working on. Okay, so the idea here, as I mentioned, is state-of-the-art, beautiful, purpose-built rental homes that are specific for educators. We are anticipating that we would, I think, Alan from CMS just joined, but Alan, I think you might need to be on mute.
I mean, yeah, that's right. That's right. I mean, they're not putting
or Greg, maybe you can help me with that. Great. Okay, so about 100 rental units at least. We're looking at maybe 1 or 2 dozen more than that even. And it would be a mix of structures so that we can create a real community feel. So yes, multifamily buildings, also quads, also townhomes. In fact, the plan that we have right now includes really beautiful 3-bedroom townhomes that have a garage in them. What we're really trying to plan out is a community that could serve educators, whether they are in year 1 or year 20, whether they are new to Charlotte or not, whether they are single or trying to be roommates with other teachers or have families. So the unit size will range from studio through 3-bedroom, and a mix of rent ranges, $1,000 for that studio up to $2,600 for that special townhome I mentioned. And those rent ranges would also be based on area median income. And we're looking at 60, 70, 80%, and 100% units that would be rent-based, not income-based. And finally, I'll mention we want to make sure that the space has some purpose-built amenities because we know that the people who are living here will be teachers, so we know something about what teachers need in terms of spaces, and also open and green space. And I'll talk a little bit more about this, but we've started engaging with educators about what they like best. And in terms of open space, when we show them a bunch of different options, they like the fire pit, they like the raised garden beds. So we'll see if that continues to be the preference, but that's what we heard so far. We know that this is such a great location for the first of these projects. The East Side offers so much. I'm, singing, preaching to the choir, but this would be such a rich day-to-day experience for our teachers. We know this will be a really attractive location with the parks, with the restaurants, with the accessibility, with the museum. So we're excited about that. It also is a great location for a first project because it is accessible by many of our schools within a 20-minute commute. And that's really crucial. I mentioned that my job is retention. We have research that says that a 20-minute commute is sort of the line over which attrition starts to be a risk. And in fact, there's recent research out of Nashville Metro Public Schools, so not us, but a pretty good comp, that showed that for every additional 5 minutes away from their school teachers live, they are 1% likelier to leave the school system. So we are really focused on using this as a resource to help teachers be within a reasonable commuting distance of their schools so that they can stay and thrive at their schools. So what's next? Some fun stuff like designs and drawings with architects, some less fun, but still really essential stuff like fundraising, permitting, having the closing, which is a little more complicated than what homeowners, individuals would go through. And we are hoping to be groundbreaking by fall of 2027. So I want to take a note. This is a good place for me to pause and talk about that fundraising and the cost, because what's so significant about this model is that we're doing it with zero impact on CMS's budget. And with the importance of teacher salaries in particular, it's really crucial to mention that the city and the county have been collaborating deeply and helped us figure out a really creative model that allows us to do this. So IHSF, as the developer, will take on the debt, and we will work with them to raise low interest, essentially equity-like funding. And that includes an upcoming request to the Housing Trust Fund that we are anticipating. But CMS is not going to be contributing any funding from our capital or our operating budget. What we are doing is leasing the land at a nominal rate. And what that allows us to do is the developer is essentially acquiring land to develop this community on without having to spend the millions they would normally have to spend. And so they can pass that savings on to the teachers. And that's one of the ways we're able to get those affordable, attainable rent rates on a teacher salary. So I mentioned the third topic I wanted to talk about was around engagement. So we started talking to educators about we talked to them about at home and CMS broadly and about this particular project back in December. The theme we heard throughout all the meetings was affordability being the most important. Our teachers were open and receptive to this model. They liked the idea of the purpose-built amenities, the teacher-friendly spaces. They were focused on safety, location, and commute, but all these things, the amenity, the safety, the location, the commute, it is all secondary to affordability, and that's why we've got our eye on that financial model. I will say, this is not on the slide because the data is changing actually daily, but I've been presenting at Crown Academy over the last 2 weeks. So Crown Academy is where we onboard our brand new teachers, people who are brand new to teaching, but also folks who are have experience as teachers but are brand new to CMS. And I've been sharing about at home and CMS, but also about this project. And 63% of them are interested in either this specific project or in other educator community projects like that. And another 22% have been curious and are wanting more information. And then generally the feedback from the folks who aren't interested is that they're looking to own, whereas this is a rental option. So we're feeling pretty good about what we are hearing over the course of all these conversations with teachers. So to put a finer point on it. We've done a handful, maybe more than a handful, a dozen or so meetings so far, and looking to do a lot more. We met twice with the Garinger staff before the end of the year, and then also just happened in professional developments this summer to be there with some other folks from Garinger, and so I've gotten some more feedback. Many of them are really excited. Some who are also alumni have talked about how this could be like a help Garinger be a flagship CMS school again. And a couple who are not as happy about it. And so, unsurprisingly, we see a range of opinions. We also have met with CMS staff, as I said, back in December, and now at Crown. And coming up, we're having more of these. We're going to be meeting with individual schools around the district. I have 14 of those scheduled already here on August 12th, 14 and counting. Some of those are pretty close to this location, like Hidden Valley and MLK and Governor's Village, and then some that are farther afield. We're going to continue meeting with community leaders, with the groups you represent. We'll be tabling at Eastway Regional Rec Center. We're working on scheduling that and working with possibly, collaborating on some other things with them. I think it was the Methodist Home and with the Sugar Creek Rec Centers. So basically, I'm taking every meeting I can get, and maybe you will be part of that. So just a couple things to close out what I had prepared to share. What I hope you'll take away is that we are eager to collaborate and to do this together. We know that this can and will be a fruitful partnership and relationship and addition to the East Side. And so, as you mentioned at the top, and Greg told me in advance, I shouldn't do an active Q&A. So instead, let's set up some time later. So please, I would encourage you to reach out about any of this. My information is on the screen, and I'm realizing in my haste, I'm going to fix that real time. Make sure that you actually have my right email address, and I'll put that back up. It's amandab.cahn@cms.k12.nc.us. I'll throw it in the chat when I'm done talking. And whether that is with questions or feedback about this project, if you'd be interested in a one-on-one meeting, if you would like us to come speak with the groups that you're here representing, we'd love to do that. So please do reach out to me. We also have a dedicated page for this project on our website, and people can also reach out to us at the @home@cms email account, though that's just another way to get to me. So thank you so much for the time, for the opportunity to come share here. And we just look forward to talking with you more and hearing your perspective.
Amanda, thank you. That was the best use of 15 minutes I think I've ever seen on this call. So way to go. Phenomenal. Thank you so much to the community. I apologize. We can't make these longer to make these more Q&A. If there is enough interest and engagement, you guys can let me know directly, and we can set up a larger community meeting if that's something, Amanda, you would be interested in doing, that we could host you maybe sometime in the fall. When are you trying to wrap up these feedback sessions by?
I would say if we are going to influence design, it would be in the next 2 to 3 months, I think. I'm still learning about this. Like I said, English teacher, not developer. But we are looking to have regular conversations and share updates as we make progress. So now is a good time. This fall is a good time, but it is not the only time if for whatever reason it doesn't make sense with existing meeting schedules.
Okay. Thank you so much, Amanda. Thank you for your time. All right, y'all, we are going to pivot quickly to our friends from TreesCharlotte, who are here for a presentation about their Community Woods program. And I have it pulled up for you. I don't know who's here from Trees.
Wonderful. Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hi, this is Heather. I don't know why my camera is not working right now, but when I put it on video, it's just all black. That doesn't usually happen. I've never had that happen before. So I don't know why. I apologize. I don't have a working camera right now.
It's all good. It's all good. Thank you for joining us.
Great. Yeah, so my name is Heather Brent. I am the urban forest educator. You might usually have possibly have Joy on these calls, maybe Joy Mayo, but she asked me to give this presentation, so I'm happy to give it. And I'm glad to see you have the slides already. I had this pulled up if I needed to share my screen, but I see that you don't need that.
You can if you prefer.
It doesn't matter. You tell me. I have it ready.
Yeah, go ahead. You're fine.
Okay.
Amanda, I think you might have to stop sharing your screen. It's okay. It's okay.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay. I'm going to put it in full screen mode. And let me move this down. You know, it's funny. I guess it doesn't matter because you can't see me anyway. So often you have to worry about which camera you're looking at. Hi everybody. As I mentioned, my name is Heather Brent with TreesCharlotte, and I'm just here to talk to you today about our Community Woods program, which is planting trees around the community. I don't know if some of you have heard of TreesCharlotte before. I hope you have, and I hope that some of you have come and participated with us and done some volunteering. It's always great to get out there and plant trees, and also want to let you know that we give away trees as well. So I'm kind of talking to you about this, both of those today. So through our Community Woods program, we partner with everyone. We partner with neighborhoods, schools, houses of faith, businesses, neighborhoods, park and rec. We don't own any land actually. So we're always looking for places to plant trees. So we do tree plantings, and then we do tree adoptions, which is what we call it when we give away trees. They're free, but we like people to understand that, they're taking over these living beings, these trees. And so you have to care for them. So we call them tree adoptions. And it's a great way to get involved with the community and also to beautify your neighborhood and add some trees. Our mission is to partner with the community to plant and care for trees, growing a healthier canopy for everyone. So you can see some of the pictures here at the top of the screen. Those are kids that are planting a tree. And then the middle picture is what it looks like at our adoption events. We make everyone sit through a demonstration. So we give you 2 free trees as well as a bag of mulch for each tree. And we teach you how to plant those trees, because that can be a little bit daunting sometimes when people don't know what to do with the trees. So we teach you how to plant them. And so this is one of our demonstrations where one of our trained volunteers, Eric, there is showing people how to plant trees. And then the bottom is some nice folks who were at a planting with us. Again, more pictures. Sometimes we do tree care, and we go back and put mulch around the trees that we planted already. It's really good to care for your trees. You have to water them, give mulch, care for them, prune them as needed. And we sometimes have volunteer events where we do that as well. So these are just more of our events. Alex is in the bottom left-hand corner. He is our urban forest manager. So he will come out to sites if you need a planting, and he'll walk the site and come up with a planting plan for you. So this is also a chance to say that if you have a place that you know that needs trees and you need 25 or more trees, get in touch with us and we can arrange to do a planting there. So we are getting ready to kick off our fall season. The best time to plant trees in Charlotte is the fall and the winter. People get really excited in the spring and they want to get outside and plant trees, often around Arbor Day and Earth Day. But we are done planting then. It gets too hot and dry. We are still in a drought now. And it's just too hard for the trees. So fall is a fantastic time to plant trees. So we're getting ready to kick off our big season. So the tree adoptions that we have, there are 3 dates that you see. September 26th, December 12th, and March 20th. And those are 3 opportunities where you can get trees from us. Actually, let me go back and tell you some more. So September 26th is the opening adoption. And when you register for our trees, we do this online. So we open up the adoption and we invite people to go in and register for the trees that we're giving away, 2 free trees. They can sell out. It's free, but we call it selling out because they can sell out, and sometimes they sell out really quickly because people know about it. So we encourage people to set their alarm. And so when we tell you that it's opening at 10 o'clock, it will open then. And we've had some where they're gone in 8 minutes. They can go really fast. So September 26th is one of those. It is the opening adoption. And so you're kind of competing with all of Charlotte to do for those adoptions. But we have another one for you that's dedicated just for the East zip codes. So we move our adoptions around to different zip codes in the city. It's hosted at the same place, but it's open to different zip codes to give everyone a chance in the city to get trees from us. So the East adoption is December 12th. And so if you would like to get 2 trees from us, write that date down because that will be the date you pick it up, and then you'll register for it beforehand. So if you get our newsletter, you find out when everything's going on, and then you can register in advance for those trees. The last chance to get trees from us for the season is March 20th, and that is our closing adoption. It's another big one. You are competing with everyone else in the city. So I would encourage people to try for that December 12th one. It's the best. And then we have some plantings coming up too. So these are the plantings that are going to be in East Charlotte. The first one is September 30th at Pepper Tree Apartments. I think that's a weekday planting possibly. And then these are the other dates. So November 1st at Woodford Apartments, November 15th at Charlotte East Language Academy. And this is actually the second time that we've been at that school. So we did a big planting there. I think it was maybe about a year and a half ago. So we're coming back to plant some more trees. December 13th, Sharon Point Apartments. And then starting in 2027, January 31st, we have Briarwood Academy. And February 28th, we're going to be back at Aldersgate for a second planting there. So the first one that I mentioned that was on September 30th, I believe, is at Pepper Tree. And this is what one of our planting plans looks like. So we're going to be planting 70 trees at this location. And if you are one of our volunteers that comes and helps them plant with us, you'll see these maps, these planting plans. And the icons on the right are just showing you small, medium, and large maturing trees. And there are different sizes to show you kind of like what the canopy cover is for that individual tree. These are some more photos showing you what we do. So top left is just we had a corporate group that came out to a planting. It was a lot of fun. And then the top right, that's actually me. You can't see you can't see my video, but that's me in the top right. I'm in the red shirt. So I'm leading up a tree walk. We give a lot of opportunities to engage with us, and tree walks are some that are really fun. So if you like trees, I encourage you to come join us on one of our tree walks where we just walk around and nerd out and take a really close look at trees, and I tell you all about trees and individual trees. So that was in the spring, and those are some candidates.
Sorry, if y'all could mute yourself if you're not presenting. Thank you. And Heather, I'm sorry, we got about 1 more minute.
Okay, sure thing. I'm almost done. And so, yeah, so those are some more planting pictures right there. So I love people to stay involved. If you go on our website, you can see our calendar of events and calendar of events. I'm going to show you a QR code in a minute that you can log on to that so that you can get our newsletter and find out what's going on. But if you go onto our website, you'll see our calendar of events and how to get involved. And then also I give a lot of talks actually. So if you would like a presentation at your organization, reach out to me. It's heather@treescharlotte.org. Our emails are also on our website as well. And this is our contact information. So I mentioned the newsletter. So that QR code on the bottom left side of the screen will get you straight to our newsletter. And I recommend that as a great way to find out what we have going on. That's where we put all of our information out there. So you can find out when we have one of our adoptions coming up before you need to register and it sells out. So I encourage people to do that. You can also follow us on social media, and that's our website.
Thank
And
you
that's
so
it.
much, Heather.
Sure
Greatly
thing. And
appreciated. Thank you for your time. Do you mind putting just some for some people it's easier? Can you drop that email in the chat? And I think somebody asked you a question in the chat if you can
okay,
answer
sure
it
thing. I'm gonna stop
now.
sharing.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Sure
Appreciate
thing.
y'all. I hope y'all have a lot of pawpaws this year. Are you planning on it?
I think so. Yes,
Okay,
we love the
cool. I'm gonna
pawpaws.
come pick some up. Awesome. I know those go super quick, or they usually have
Yeah,
in the
they
past.
do. They do. Those are a good one. So thank you so much,
Thank
everybody.
you. Thank you. All right, y'all, we have about 11 minutes left. Apologies because I packed the agenda today. Michelle, I'm going to kick it to you.
Yeah, I'll be quick. Hi everybody. I'm Michelle from Amity Medical Group. I just wanted to hop on to talk a little bit about our event that we're having next weekend. It is our annual back to school event with our pharmacy, Avant Pharmacies. So it's going to be from 10 to 2. We're going to have free sports physicals for children returning to school. Vaccines, the health department will be there as well. Free food, a bouncy house, arts and crafts, free school supplies, book bags, basically everything. So our schedule is full right now for appointments. However, we are going to allow walk-ins as well as we can. So just wanted to kind of present this in case any of the families that you guys work with may benefit from these resources and need to get those vaccines before they return to school. And Greg has the flyer, and I'm sure you'll send that out so everyone can have that. But that's really all. I just wanted to let everybody know.
Thank you, Michelle. How many people are you expecting this year?
Fingers crossed, the same as last year.
You had a really
Yeah,
good turnout. That was a good
we
turnout.
had a wonderful turnout. But we are going to be doing appointments this year just so that we can get everyone seen. However, like I said, there's going to be no shows likely, so we'll get people in as they come as well. So if they don't have an appointment, it's still okay.
Great. Thank you so much. I will share that flyer with the minutes. All right. I'm gonna skip around because a couple people did not show today. So I believe we have our Children of the World team ready to go. Laura, are you on the
Yes,
call?
yes. Thank you,
Oh,
Greg.
hey.
Yes. Hey, there we go. And actually, I could share my screen too if you want. I can just share some other things, but I know we're out of time too. I
You're
just want to
good.
give a quick plug awesome, for Children of the World Learning Center. We are a dual language, multicultural learning center. We serve early childhood. We provide early childhood educational services on the east side. From birth to kindergarten, really, we have the hallmark kind of at our program is a preschool for 3 and 4-year-olds. And so we are located in Central United Methodist Church, right across from Charlotte East Language Academy. So we have been building a great pipeline too of students who then continue on with their bilingual education. But I just wanted to give a plug for
Laura, I think we are
planning with a
losing.
nonprofit, and
Is it just on my end, or are y'all having a hard time hearing her? Oh, it might be
Yeah,
me.
she froze.
can you
Okay.
hear me a little bit?
Okay. Laura, I'm gonna
Okay.
put you on pause real quick and share the info. If you could send me an email because we're having issues with your connection, I believe. Or Louise can. Louise, do you want to share? All right, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna move forward and come back. For the sake of time, we are gonna go to Stephanie.
If you'll unmute me, I can share real quick.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Louise.
Okay. Well, we're, as Laura said, multicultural dual language preschool located in Central East Charlotte, at Central United Methodist Church. And we'd love for you to come and see us. We have an open house September 24th, which we can send information about. But most specifically, I think what Laura wanted to share about was that we do have openings on our board. We're an active board, so we need people who are really motivated and committed to early childhood and education and family engagement and involvement. And we're really more like a family center because people can sign up very early, and we Maria, our director, actually does a lot of counseling and a lot of really directing people to resources and that type of thing and family involvement. But anyway, for our board, and I'm trying to read this, but basically I know that we need people, of course, who are very committed and who want to be on the working board. We also need people particularly who would be interested in doing some work related to fundraising, marketing, and that type of thing. So let's see, community. I can't read it, but that's basically what I know. It's an exciting board to work with. We have a wonderful vision in terms. Our vision is really bringing together people of varied incomes, families and children of varied incomes early, to be able to so that the children can learn from each other. We typically have children from about 15, 16 different countries and from 5 continents. And so it's a wonderful learning experience for children. We have a waiting list right now, but we do know that some people will at the end go to make pre-K or whatever. So if you still know children who would like to attend, please let Miss Maria know. And it's I think Laura.
I'll send all the information out, Louise. Yeah. I will. Thank you both. Thank you so much, Laura and Louise, for ensuring that Children of the World is such a pillar of our community. And if y'all have never been, their Christmas event is always a wonderful time too. So thank you all. All right, last agenda item. Stephanie, I'm sorry, I got about 5 minutes for you. Will that work?
That's totally fine. I might even take less. Hey everyone, I'm Stephanie Vanderlucht. I represent Kinship Plot. We are a nonprofit organization. We are in partnership with the Grove Presbyterian Church, which is located at W.T. Harrison Sharon Amity. And we are partnering with them to reimagine their property. They sit on about 9 acres. And one of the pieces of that is we are building 24 units of housing there that will be for people earning at 40 to 80% of the area median income. So think everything we heard in the first housing, but really open to anyone at a kind of that range of income for the same reasons, wanting to see people be able to, who live and work in Charlotte and East Charlotte, be able to call it home. And so there's so much more I could say, but one of the things that we want to do is, and we've done from the beginning, is listen to the community and develop this, design it with and for community members. And so on August 23rd, we're having an open house event. It is for anyone, and it will also be very family friendly. We're going to have activities for the kids. We actually are part of what we're creating there is gardens and a food forest, an orchard. It's a beautiful piece of property and really lovely area to bring the whole family. There'll be some also guided tours of that, as well as a tea tasting. We make teas with the herbs we grow on site. And we'll also have an opportunity for voter registration. That's kind of a new piece as well. So come out, share it with others. If you have any questions, reach out. I could talk about this all day long, but really eager to invite members of the community who are curious about, especially how land that is owned by faith communities and churches can be really can be leveraged to serve our wider community. So I'll leave it at that.
Stephanie, thank you. And I gotta say, I embarrassingly only went and checked out the property for the first time a couple months ago, right when we met, and
I think so.
I have never been more excited about a housing project, like period, and including the at-home one at CMS. Super excited. I put this in a different kind of category because so much of the housing that we see has been, especially in the past few years, has been a lot about density, about how much we can pack onto the land. And as I grew up very rural, as I know my dear friend Miss Louise Woods did too in Eastern North Carolina, I have a soft spot for a little bit of land, and I think both of these projects that are so different from the at-home project and the kinship. I wanted both of you guys kind of on this call at once. We have some really incredible housing innovation that is going on the east side. I know while we have had our share of housing trust fund dollars pour into the community over the years, I believe that these are two very different projects that can be models for how things can be done elsewhere in the city. And I'm super excited about both of them. I encourage y'all to please come and check out on the 23rd what is going on at Kinship. Are these still kind of this is somewhat of the current rendering, right? This is the most recent one
Yeah,
we have.
we actually just got brand new ones from our architect yesterday. So I can show how many units are planned. 24 units and also a community building. I can share my screen if we have some time. I can show you.
We are like
But
right at
that's
time. Do
fine.
you mind
Come
whatever
to
you
the
can share
open
with me?
house
Yeah,
and you'll see the new renderings. How about that?
that's awesome.
And
Thank
reach out
you.
to me. I'm happy to meet with anyone, talk with anyone, walk the land with you. It is a really beautiful place. So hope to see y'all there. Thanks so
It
much.
is. Thank you all so much. Thank you to the At Home at CMS team. Thank you to all of our presenters for coming. You guys have a wonderful rest of your week.
Thank
Oh,
you.
Stephanie, can I call you back real quick? Well, she just got off. Okay. Y'all have a good one.
Thank you.